lifting Vaughn up there on that stretcher. Hard to say which leg it is.
Langlois gets it off the board. Bob Vaughn lets it drive. Goes score! Bob Vaughn.
He gets it into the air, back to the spot. The Montreal Canadiens have won the Stanley Cup.
Coming in with Nystrom. Canelli to Nystrom. He scores!
The Oilers have won the Stanley Cup.
Time once again to go back into the archives. Welcome to Vintage Games here on the NHL Network. I'm Dan Pollard. Today we look back to May 7th of 1983 and a Wales Conference matchup between the three-time defending champion New York Islanders and the Boston Bruins. The Islanders led the series 3-2, but the Bruins seemed to have reclaimed some momentum following their win in Game 5. Each time the Islanders had needed a victory in the series, Mike Bossy had delivered the game-winning goal. And with the pressure building in Game 6, again they hoped the reigning Conn Smythe Trophy winner would answer the call.
Good evening, everybody. Danny Gallivan and Dick Irvin. Van Helleman, the referee, the linesman, are Bonnie and Scampanello. And now we're going to get to the goalies. There's a fellow who's playing in his 17th consecutive playoff game. Didn't have much work the other night, but was still very, very good. So there you see the average 3.30. Billy Smith was taken out after 2 periods. Dick the other night, but that was more to give Melanson a little work, I think.
Well, he had an excellent first period, of course. The Bruins took over that hockey game, played very well. This crowd has been chanting, "Let's go Islanders," for about the last 5 minutes, and here they go.
So this game is underway. And the Islanders going to the attack. In on the boards it goes. The Bruins clearing it to the line. Now down on the right wing, and number 11 is Casper. Coming up on the other side is Brad Park. Krushelnyski gets that shoot. Big save by Smith. Outstanding save by Smith on Krushelnyski.
What a marvelous scoring chance for the Boston Bruins in the first 30 seconds of play. Casper played it very well. Brad Park was rushing up the ice, but he was covered by the time they got inside the zone, so he dropped it back to the trailer, Krushelnyski. He really drilled it, Danny, right at Billy Smith. Smith didn't necessarily have to make that much of a move to block that point-blank shot from Big Mike Krushelnyski. Oh, what a chance.
And the face-off to the left of Smith. Saturday night is the liveliest night of the year on Long Island when there's a hockey playoff game. Here's Goring, going right in on goal. Goring scores!
Now, Butch Goring's goal comes 11 seconds after Billy Smith stopped Krushelnyski, and he makes a move on Raymond Bourque and then on Peter. What a start to this hockey game for the New York Islanders. The big save by Billy Smith, and now the big play by Butch Goring with the fake that draws Peters out of position, and he tucks home the backhand. All of this happening at 33 seconds. The first goal of the hockey game for Goring is 4th of the playoffs. It's 1-0 New York.
Here's the announcement of the goal by Goring.
The assistant number 14, Bob Bourne, the time of the goal, 33 seconds. That's Goring's 4th of the playoffs from Bourne at 33 seconds.
Goring from Bourne. 33 seconds is 4th of the playoffs. And Dick, it seems almost axiomatic. You stop at one end and the other team comes down and puts the puck into the net. Now the Bruins are going to the attack. McNabb is getting in front. Out of the net comes Smith. And he came out rather daringly and dangerously. That puck could have hopped away from him. But with all the confidence that Billy Smith has, and he has plenty of it, he was there and he picked it up.
Now there is Butch Goring in his 14th season in the National Hockey League, and Brian will be chatting with Butch live during the first intermission. Billy Smith comes up with another stop. This line of McNabb, Keith Crowder, and MacTavish played such a key role for Boston 2 nights ago in their 5-1 victory.
1-0 the Islanders. A lot of people say, oh, there's pressure on the Islanders. I don't buy that. These people who say that if the Islanders do not win tonight, they cannot win in Boston. That I cannot buy either, but it would be very, very tough. But you got to realize the Islanders, 3 times winners of the Stanley Cup, poised. Now Boston in on the boards. Here is Sutter. That's Brent Sutter to Johnson up on the left side. It comes. Boston's MacTavish. There's their shot. Smith looked behind, looked over to the other side. But lo and behold, it was not in the net. And then he said to himself, Dick, I must have it.
Well, this line of Boston we referred to a moment ago, putting that pressure on with some excellent forechecking. The players not in uniform tonight. You'll notice Boudelier, the young defenseman, who played 2 nights ago in Boston, not dressed for the Islanders. Ken Morrow is. He had surgery of a sort on his knee a couple of days ago. And the Bruins, no lineup changes for Boston as we look back to their lineup on Thursday. Jerry Cheevers again dressing 7 defensemen.
And Boston on Thursday night may have played its best hockey game of the entire hockey season. And the assistant general manager, Tommy Johnson, thinks they may have done just that. That was an outstanding Boston win on Thursday. Right now, they're looking for a victory here tonight to tie the series and send it back to Boston on Tuesday night. Right now, Bourque feeds it up to Park. Park ahead to Peterson. Dufour is out there too. Middleton is 16 going in on the right side. He jams in on the boards. Potvin can't clear it out. Middleton over the other side to Dufour. He's tied up. Middleton struggling for it. Aggressive work here by the Boston Bruins. In along the boards on the left wing. Now Trottier ahead to Clark Gillies. Over on the right side, Bossy was checked very effectively by Dufour, who did a tremendous job in that department in Boston on Thursday night. Now the Bruins right in front of Middleton. There's the shot. And it was blocked by Potvin. The Bruins have had some great chances, Dick.
3 sensational saves by Smith early in the hockey game.
Now it's Bourque ahead on the right side to Peterson, back to Bourque, in over the line, and it's called on the offside.
The scoring play, Butch Goring, his 4th of the playoffs. Bob Bourne on the assist at 33 seconds here in what has been a very noisy first period at the Nassau Coliseum.
Number 18 is Keith Crowder. He is on with McNabb and MacTavish, and that probably was the outstanding line on the ice. Thursday, there's a shot by Potvin. He gets the rebound. Potvin clearing it into the corner. Dwayne Sutter's pass goes all the way to the blue line. A pass to Crowder. Coming in with MacTavish. McNabb is getting in front. There's a shot by MacTavish, and that line is at it again. Now the Islanders striding out over the line. Lane going to the far side. Rolled it gently ahead into the corner. Park takes over. Passes it back to center as we near the 5th minute mark into the opening period. 1-0 for the Islanders on a spectacular goal by number 91, Goring. Now there's a long shot nowhere near the net off the stick of Brent Sutter. Park giving it to Middleton. And now Park got it back. He gets that excellent pass away. He's one of the better passers in all of hockey, number 22. That is Brad Park. He has what the players like to receive, the feathery type of pass that they can handle easily. Now Dufour going to the line. Broke it up. Here's Trottier shooting it in on the right side. A shot by Bossy. And that went off the stick of Hillier. Good move there by Middleton. Middleton going in. Passing it right in front. There's a shot. A spectacular save by Smith on Peterson. And the Bruins have had at least 4 glorious scoring opportunities.
Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from Long Island, New York.
Face-off is in the center ice area from the Boston line. O'Connell cleared it ahead. Penalty coming after Krushelnyski. I think it will be for upending Nystrom. Nystrom is coming in on the right wing with a shot. And a great glove grab by Peters. Smith had scampered to the Islanders bench on the far side, but near the New York blue line this time.
Boston penalty number 25, Mike Krushelnyski, 2 minutes tripping. Time of the penalty, 7:14.
7:14, the time of the tripping penalty call on Krushelnyski. Talking with several of the Boston players this morning at the workout here at the Coliseum, they were talking, Danny, a lot about the Islanders' power play. It was the one thing that they said, we've got to contain the power play. They referred back in particular to the game played here a week ago tonight when the Islanders scored 3 times on the power play. We'll see what happens. This is New York's first chance. Jerry Cheevers up on the bench. He was just involved in a rather animated discussion with referee Andy Van Helleman about his line changing.
Casper's up front. We'll pick up the lineman for the Bruins as they get set to defend here. The Islanders, of course, Potvin is on a point along with Persson. Trottier behind the net. Bossy is in front. On the boards over on this side, it hit Bossy, and the Bruins shooting it down the ice. The other man on the power play for the Islanders, number 28, Keller. Middleton up front with Peterson. Park on defense with O'Connell. And the Islanders on the power play. It's off the boards. It came at a peculiar angle. It had Peters going one way and the puck the other, but luckily Keller was being checked by O'Connell. Now back into the center ice area. Persson shooting it in. Peters takes over. He lost it in, but they score! It is Bossy, and I would think Peters would have to take some of the blame for that goal.
He was caught out of position. Mike Bossy's tough enough when there's a goalie in the net. When it's open, no contest. A power play goal. This is what the Bruins were afraid of. There's Peters losing the puck to Trottier. He tried to one-hand it along on the boards, and you see he kind of stumbles up against the base of the net, and he is in no position to come back and try to make the save. So Mike Bossy scores his 12th playoff goal on the power play. It's 2-0 New York.
And Peters will rue the day that Jacques Plante started to roam behind the net, because everybody's been doing it since. And although his intention was good, his judgment was not very good there, Dick. So we'll recap that scoring play for you. 2-0 for the Islanders. McNabb coming in with a drifting, high-rising shot. In on the boards they go. Keith Crowder trying to get it. McNabb forechecking also. MacTavish is the other forward. Here come the Islanders. It's Bourque on the left side. Over the line. It's cleared along the boards. Bourque again. Laying it off. Brent Sutter. It's picked up this time by Dwayne Sutter. He's knocked in on the boards by Kluzak. And Bourque has it. Twisting and turning. Gets it up on the line. Keith Crowder fanned the first time, and then it was a giveaway, actually. Back it goes to Bourque at the line to Janssen. The Islanders failed to negotiate that pass successfully, and it's Bourque. With 10 minutes and 52 seconds left in the opening period, the Islanders in front 2-0. Now Brent Sutter twisting and turning himself. Gets it on the left side. Tonelli doesn't get anywhere. Krushelnyski is on the ice, along with Gillis and Bruce Crowder. Bruce Crowder stopping Potvin. Will they get a whistle? No, they don't. Pressure here by the Bruins. Goring clearing it. It's at the line. Nystrom coming out. He was upended. And the Islanders supporters felt there should have been a second consecutive penalty there to Boston, but the Bruins, with the play carrying on, in they go. Krushelnyski into the corner area. Nystrom takes a look, dashing down on the left side. Tonelli in over the line. Tonelli moves in there against O'Connell. In on the boards. Tonelli was belted. Here's Nystrom. He lost it. And it's Crowder. That is Bruce Crowder flicking the long lob shot. Morrow takes over. Less than 10 minutes to go in the opening period. Boston breaking up the Islanders. Now Tonelli coming down. Tonelli cutting in. And he fired it wide. Tonelli made an excellent move against Park on the left side. Now Park has it for Boston. Middleton clearing it to Bourque, one of the best rushing defensemen in all of hockey. Bourque is in there. The shot, the rebound, and let's see, they score! Middleton on the rebound. Bourque taking the shot.
A very important goal. Makes it to 2-1 hockey game. Rick Middleton's 10th goal of the playoffs. But Raymond Bourque did all the work on the rush. And what a move he makes on Morrow as he makes the deke on Morrow and lets the shot go as he steps by him. Smith can't control the rebound. Nobody's there to clear it. And Middleton cutting in from the right side, backhands it off the post into the net. 2-1, Islanders lead.
16, Rick Middleton. The assistant number 7, Ray Bourque. And number 22, Brad Hart. The time of the goal, 10:42. Middleton 10th of the playoff from Bourque and Park.
Bourque and Park assisting at 10:42. Penalty about to be assessed against the Islanders. Middleton is going right to the goal. He shoots and he's stymied on the left side. 6 attackers for Boston now. Bourque, sharp angle shot by Peterson. And let's see, will the whistle go now? Yes, it will go with 8:38 remaining. The Islanders are being penalized.
Brian Trottier in the box, tripping the call at 11:22, and while a delay was on in the penalty, Danny, what a chance for Rick Middleton to tie the hockey game. Oh.
The Bruins have had outstanding scoring opportunities. They trail 2-1. And that indomitable spirit which characterized and stood the Bruins in good stead all year is rising and surging here again. They got behind 2-0. They cut it, it's 2-1. Now they have an opportunity to tie the game. They have the odd man advantage. On the power play, it's McNabb leading a 4-man attack in over the line. He leads O'Connell in there. In front of the net is Keith Crowder. Back it goes to Park. Park gets it back. Park fakes the shot. Here's McNabb cutting it. Right in front of O'Connell, a shot. Rebound. That was another big chance. Now a Park pass is deflected. Good pressure here by the Boston Bruins. Potvin falls on the puck. However, there's no whistle. It's loose, and the Bruins keep it in. MacTavish giving it to O'Connell. Back into Keith Crowder. A high pass behind the net. Let's see if they get a whistle here. Yes, they do. Good power play, Dick.
Last two scoring plays we haven't had a chance to recap. Bossy on the power play from Trottier and Persson at 8:09 with Krujolniski in the box, and then Middleton from Bourque and Brad Park at 10:42. It's a 2-1 hockey game. Danny, you can't fault the way the Boston Bruins have played this game so far. They've made a couple of miscues. Goring got away, although he made a fine play, and then the miscue by Peters on the Bossy goal. Billy Smith has had to be outstanding. Boston has had about a half dozen excellent scoring chances.
Indeed, they have looked very impressive on the attack, and of course it's obvious that they had a refreshing resurgence in spirit as a result of that victory before their home crowd. Now here's Bourque going in with a shot just over the top of the net. And can he whistle that puck? Number 7 is centered in front. Picked up, and Bourne clears it down the ice. But in the first minute and 25 seconds of the power play, the Bruins have impressed. Now they're coming back again into the center ice area, in over the line. Back it goes to O'Connell right in front to Middleton. It's blocked by Janssen. And the Islanders all alone. Carroll killing off valuable seconds, playing it back to Janssen. Bourne picks it up at Sutter. He has excellent speed. Here's Bourne going in over the line. Bourne is cutting, trying to get in front, and he jammed it wide. What spectacular maneuverability by Bourne, but it was it offside?
Yeah, it was offside, but you could not hear the whistle. We couldn't. Bob Bourne couldn't. But linesman Wayne Bonney had called the play offside at the Boston line. As Danny mentioned, the first minute and 25 seconds of the power play, the Bruins had total control inside the New York blue line zone. 30 seconds left now in the penalty to Brian Trottier. Well, this has been a rather interesting day for Canadian athletes. We have a lot of two-legged ones out here on the ice tonight, along with Americans and Swedish players. And a four-legged Canadian, Sonny's Halo, won the Kentucky Derby today. The first Canadian-bred horse to win that race since the Mighty Northern Dancer in 1964. I don't know if Sonny's Halo can get the American version of this game in the stalls down in Louisville, but in any event, we congratulate the Kentucky Derby winner from Canada.
Well, we'll say hello to Sonny.
That's quite a race. Pete Peters had an excellent game the other night in Boston. Bit of a shaky start here tonight. He's had to contend with some bouncing pucks, too.
Dick, you mentioned with 3 seconds left in the penalty. Then I saw the referee go over. They've changed the clock.
So.
6 seconds now. And there's a perspiring Trottier in the penalty box. 6:44 the time remaining in the period. The Islanders leading the Bruins 2-1. Now, the penalty has expired. Boston coming in. Casper is chasing it against Janssen. Casper is a very determined digger, very, very rugged. He's 5'8", just 159, but a lot of dynamite there. The Islanders have shown tremendous potency in their play here at the Coliseum. The last 5 playoff games they have won, and they've outscored the opposition 31-9. Right now in this game, very, very important. It is 2-1 for the Islanders, and they race into the center ice area in over the line. Callan trying to get it back to Trottier, and it ricocheted into Peters. And that brings the face-off in Boston territory.
There is Ken Morrow, had the knee injury, which kept him out of the lineup in the game in Boston 2 nights ago. There you see the medical version of the treatment that he underwent, and he is back. He skated this morning. They still weren't sure. Young Boudelier actually skated in the pregame warm-up, but Morrow said he was okay, so he is in uniform. Just to recap the series and the scores, 3 games played in Boston. The Islanders won the opener of the series 5-2. The Bruins won the other 2 games played on their home ice 4-1 and 5-1. In games 3 and 4 here at the Nassau Coliseum, Al Arbor's Islanders winners by scores of 7-3 and 8-3.
Now it is back to the line. Lane clearing it in. Melnick taking over. Out to Dufour on the left side, lined up for a body check, delivered by Lane. Pass intercepted, the Bruins coming in. MacTavish is spun around, belted by Potvin. In there, forechecking MacTavish, along with Crowder. Puck into the center ice area. Islanders having all kinds of difficulty getting an offense organized. Now, a penalty coming up. Or we're going to have a couple, maybe.
Well, Gillies was involved with Krushelnyski. Clark Gillies playing the left side with the Sutters here. Bourne has just killed a penalty. So there's a high sticking call. Gillies goes to the box. I don't know about the Boston player. And there is Clark Gillies, not too happy. Now here it is along the boards. Gillies with the left forearm against Krushelnyski, and there was Gillies hammering Krushelnyski. Clark Gillies, the only penalty on that exchange, so the Boston Bruins, Danny, with another power play try.
And if they execute as well as they did when they had the advantage the last time, conceivably they'll tie up this game. But right now it's intercepted by Goring, recovered by O'Connell to Peterson. Up on the far wing, that pass too far ahead for Krushelnyski. The Islanders fail to clear it out. Peterson gives it to Bourque, shot, and it's blocked. Here's O'Connell over to Bourque. Bourque winds up. Ricochet off the skate of Potvin, and it went wide. Middleton playing it into the corner. Boston throws the puck around very well. Now it's Peterson again, and it's knocked off his stick by Pearson.
They had Krushelnyski parked in front of Smith. Potvin kept clearing him out of the way.
So now we have 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining. Peterson in over the line, takes a look, passes it into the corner, bumping Pearson and Krushelnyski. And here's the break for Billy Carroll. Billy Carroll is coming down, going right in on goal, shoots, and a spectacular save again. We see in this hockey game, this time by Peters, but with not too much experience in scoring goals, perhaps he didn't play it as well as he should have.
He played in 71 games this season, principally as a penalty killer. Billy Carroll scored once in regular season play. He has 1 playoff goal. The puck ricocheted off a Boston player, so that wiped off any offside. Carroll was in all alone. Pete Peters held his ground in the goal crease and made a very large save for the Boston Bruins. 51 seconds left in the Gillies penalty, and Carroll coming that close to a shorthanded goal for New York.
Face off to the right of Peters, 2-1. The Islanders leading the Bruins. We have Park and Bourque on for Boston. McNabb, Keith Crowder, and MacTavish. Goring up front. Johnson and Morrow on defense, and Billy Carroll, the other penalty killer, along with Goring up front. So we're going to have 2 personalities who haven't faced off against each other so far in this game. Move in there, MacTavish and Carroll. Bourque from right in front of the net gives it to Park. Park has to go back. Checking there by Goring. Now a pass into the center ice area. Here's Goring cutting in on the left side with Carroll. Goring going in. Backhand shot. And it was blocked by the veteran Park. Here come the Bruins. Bourque over the line. Going in with Keith Platter. And the Islanders knocking it back to Sutter. 18 seconds left in the penalty to Clark Gillies. 2-1 the Islanders leading. Now here's Bourque. Bourque getting savvy, flipped it in front. MacTavish. MacTavish takes a look. Here's Park with it. Will he pass it over? Yes, he gives it to Bourque. Back into McNabb, right in front. MacTavish scores! Beautiful passing, tic-tac-toe play, and MacTavish ties it.
Bourque is the key. He's the quarterback on the power play in a situation like that. And MacTavish, who scored his second playoff goal the other night in Boston, gets number 3 right here. But Danny, you're right. It was the puck control by the Bruins. They hadn't done very much in the power play. Up to this point, the Islanders had killed it very well. They'd had scoring chances. But right there from the slot, as he's being checked by Janssen, who had been hammering MacTavish just a few seconds before that, trying to clear him out from the slot area. MacTavish hangs tough and scores the tying goal. Well, the Bruins were down 2-0, and now it's 2-2.
The assist to number 8, Peter McNabb, and number 7, Ray Bourque. Time of the goal, 16:34.
And Dick, as this game progresses, you know, you look back, and that save on Carroll will loom very, very large, I'm sure. So it is a tie hockey game. And Casper flipping it in there. It's Lane behind the net. He took his eye off the puck. He missed it. Now it's along the boards to Tonelli. The Bruins have looked very impressive in this first period. I would think they've had the better scoring opportunities by far.
Oh, very much so. Billy Smith.
Now Casper over to Nystrom. There's the shot. Blocked. Knocked down. Gloved in behind the net by number 11, Merrick. There's number 11 for the Bruins. Casper handing it off. Big Cusack gaining confidence with every passing game. Took a shot, didn't have much on that. Now Nystrom bumps his man along the boards. That was Bruce Trotter. Moving in, the Boston team staying on top of the Islanders. Shot back in by Park. Smith comes out to do some clearing on the left side to Tonelli. He was forced to get rid of it. Score tied at 2, and 2:22 the time left in the period. It is the first period. A victory here tonight will send the Islanders against the Edmonton Oilers. A loss here, a 7th game in Boston on Tuesday night. And the Islanders know how difficult it would be to win a 7th game in Boston. Now Boston coming back in on that right side. Here's Dufour. He's been a checker most of the series. He's on the offense right here, and he made a good move to get around the net. It's cleared down the ice. Peters is going to cover up. Minute and 42 seconds remaining. That face-off area to the right of Peters. And O'Connell is going to lug it and ignite a 4-man Boston attack. He started to shoot it in, he hesitated, and then it was the offside. There's a big difference in the goaltending in this first period. I don't know whether it'd be fair or unfair to say that if there was an equalization in the goaltending score, it could be about 3-1 for Boston.
Well, Peters, of course, looking shaky on the goal by Bossy, the one that made it 2-0 for New York, but you have to give him all the marks in the world for the stop on Billy Carroll, a play which could have given the Islanders a 3-1 lead. About 30 playing seconds later, Boston comes back and makes it 2-2 on the goal by MacTavish.
So I guess the situation has a way of leveling off. But no question about it, the Bruins have had the better scoring opportunities. Now Trottier leading Bossy on his wrong wing. He was partially stopped by Bourque. Now going after Bossy, and missing him was Dufour. Dufour has been with him all the time in this series. Took the puck away and knocked Bossy down. And the Islander fan says, where's the penalty on that? There should have been one. Now an interception. It's kept in there by Middleton. Middleton passing it over. Trottier is knocked to the ice by Bourque. A shot by Middleton blocked. And the Islanders on the left side. Janssen Getting it back to Bossy, back to Janssen. There's the shot. Peters came out and he challenged that shooter very well. He looked very confident on that move. Now Bourque is chased back into the center ice area. Coming down on the left side. A pass. Backhand shot. They score! Brent Sutter!
Well, that goal came very quickly. The Bruins had a chance to clear the zone, and the puck popped loose right there. Sutter just let that backhand go and caught the short side on Pete Peters. Give Sutter a lot of credit for the speed in which he let the shot go. As soon as he had it on the stick right there, cradled it once and fired the backhand. So the Islanders regained the lead after the Bruins failed to control that bouncing puck deep in their zone. An important goal in the final moment of play in the period. So Brent Sutter at 1936 scores his 7th of the playoffs.
Now the puck is back in Boston territory. And with less than a dozen seconds, 11 to be exact, the face-off will be down to the right of Billy Smith. And that has to annoy Jerry Cheevers. However, he understands he was a goalie, too.
Well, you know what the Islanders have done in this period? They have taken advantage of their opportunities. And really, that's the only time that they have come close to scoring. They had the breakaway when Carroll didn't score. The other opportunities, they did on Pete Peters. At the other end of the rink, Billy Smith has simply just been great against the Bruins, who have had the majority of good scoring chances.
Now MacTavish is going after Pearson. The Islanders are going to get it out. They come with Bourque. 3 seconds. He has time. Bourque is going in. He shoots. Big save by Peters. Peters coming up. And Bourque had enough time then to get that puck into the net.
Well, a period of mixed emotions for Pete Peters, certainly. He has made a couple of big saves, and this was one of them. 2 seconds showing on the clock when Bourque let the backhand go, and Peters makes the save. And so the score at the end of the first period, the New York Islanders 3 and the Boston Bruins 2. Good period for Boston. Goring admitted as much. The thing is, the Bruins don't want to get away from their game plan, because whatever it was Jerry Cheevers has had in store for the Islanders, it was working to a degree, even if not on the scoreboard, but they played very well.
Their first period performance bodes well for the attitude and the approach they have for this game. However, they're behind 3-2, and they go to the attack. It's Bourque over on the boards. The Bruins barge in there. MacTavish is in there. You know, how seriously do the people of Massachusetts take the Boston Bruins? The Boston Herald headline today summed it up and tells the story. It says a man shot for criticizing the Bruins in a public place in Lynn, Massachusetts. Well, what do you mean a public place? In a bar in Lynn, Massachusetts, right after they turned off the television set when the Bruins fashioned a spectacular win. Some guy got up and he said the Bruins are no good. Bingo, he was shot. He's in the hospital.
Well, Danny, it's your job to keep on top of all those fast-breaking news stories for us.
Well, there's one thing, of course, I think that's getting sport not in its proper perspective, but it certainly indicates what a hold it has on some fans, unfortunately.
Well, there is Ray Bourque, who has got to play well for Boston, and he has so far. I know we have a lot of people watching out in Edmonton, Danny, friends of yours, friends of mine. I can tell you there's a sign up very high in the Nassau Coliseum that reads, "Live from Edmonton on Tuesday night." That's where they want their hockey team to be.
It's going to be a tremendous series, regardless of the team that plays against the Edmonton Oilers. We'll talk more about the Oilers later. We'll just tell you right now, a team blessed with some great forwards with blistering and blinding speed. They've tightened up that defense. Moe just playing outstanding hockey. And the Oilers have come up with a maturation that is necessary going into a Stanley Cup final. So they'll be taking on the winner of this series. The Islanders centering it in front. And here come the Boston Bruins with Middleton on the right side. Winds up with a shot. And he rattled it off the knee of Gillies. Sharp angle, fake shot. And the Islanders 2-on-1. Bossy with Gillies. Gillies coming in. Bossy shoots. Goal! it was.
An absolutely tremendous shot by Mike Bossy, his second goal of the game. Watch the angle we have it here, and watch the top corner. Stick side on Pete Peters. Perfect angle right there on that camera shot. The Bruins caught with a defenseman up the ice. Ray Bourque sliding. He committed himself, the only man back. And Bossy hung on to the puck as Bourque goes down and then just leans into that shot in typical Mike Bossy fashion. 1 minute gone. Second period. It's 4-2 Boston. The Islanders, rather.
13th of the playoffs unassisted at 59 seconds.
A very, very big goal for the New York Islanders by Bossy, his second of the night, and the Islanders leading the Bruins 4-2. There's MacTavish squaring off against the guy who missed the last game for the Islanders, number 6, Morrow.
Danny, the Bruins scored 2 goals in just a little over a minute of playing time. If you go back to the goal scored late in the first period by Brett Sutter at 19:36, the official time of that goal was announced as 59 seconds for Mike Bossy. So there's been quite a turnaround through a couple of minutes, a minute and a half or so of playing time from a 2-2 hockey game to a 4-2 New York lead.
And Bossy, great playoff performer, great performer, regardless of whether it's the playoffs or not. Has his 13th goal. Now the Islanders are up there again. They centered a backhand shot. Peters coming out, big save. Oh, Peters was big on that. Pressure here by the Islanders. Back it comes to the line on the Boston Bruins. Swinging it down on the left side to McNabb. He drops it back. Johnson takes Pete Crowder out of the play. Now McNabb is tied up on the boards by Morrow. The puck is loose. McNabb still with it. He gives it to Bourque. Bourque playing it behind the net. And that is Brent Sutter ahead on the left side to Bourne. Dwayne Sutter is on the other side. Excellent speed by Bourne. There he goes. Flipped over down in front. Brent Sutter making a move to shake off MacTavish. Behind the net it goes. Islanders setting it under, but a shot. Big save there by Peters. Right at the lip of the crease, Brent Sutter took a shot. Now Bourque shoots it right on. Screen shot. Billy Smith saw it, and he held on.
2 coaches who have done outstanding jobs with their teams again this season. Al Arbor of the Islanders, Jerry Cheevers of the Bruins. 4:20 gone here in the second period. New York leading 4-2.
Now they fight for it. On the ice is Merrick, and the play is stopped. Here we have banners as we have in every other rink. You haven't got as many banners as you had at the Garden in Boston because you have the Celtics and the Bruins there. Not as many as you have in Montreal or Toronto, but you have 4 New York Island Patrick Division Championship banners. You have 3 Stanley Cup banners. And of course, as everybody knows who follows this game of hockey, the Islanders, having won the Stanley Cup the last 3 years, they hope to make it 4 this year. They're fighting for a Stanley Cup berth against the Edmonton Oilers here in this series against Boston. They lead in this game 4-2. They need 1 more win to get into the finals. That shot went over the glass.
We mentioned the word frustration on the part of the Bruins. Brad Park, in his 50th NHL season, he has never won a Stanley Cup. And he must be wondering now.
A lot of great hockey players never got on a stand. How about Bill Gadsby? He was in the league for about 20 years, wasn't he?
Number 66, when Detroit won the first 2 in the finals, the series you referred to the other night, everybody said, now Gadsby will get his Stanley Cup. Still was denied.
And Bill was one of the great ones, no question about it. Bourque knocked his man down. Bourque right in front, backhand shot, scores!
Now we've got a fight in front of the New York net. Hillier of the Bruins, and I believe it's Thomas Johnson who he's involved with. But in any event, the Bruins have scored. Now here again, Jerry Cheevers had 4 defensemen on the ice, with Hillier and Bourque playing on the wings. Melnick and Park on defense, and it paid off as Raymond Bourque, I think, put the puck in the net. They still haven't changed the scoreboard. There's some confusion here with the fight having taken place, but watch Bourque fight off Big Gord Lane, and that's not easy. Keeps his balance and scores on the backhand. It hits Smith on the leg as he falls and bounced in behind the Islanders goaltender. But just a sensational individual play by Ray Bourque. First showing strength and great balance on the play. And Bourque scores his 8th of the playoffs, and we have a one-goal hockey game on a one-man effort by Ray Bourque. An unassisted goal at 5:01. Johnson and Hilliard draw minor penalties for that little altercation after the goal was scored.
The Boston Bruins exemplify to the nth degree resiliency and determination. They get behind, they keep coming back. There's an example. Bourque right out in front, backhand shot, as Dick indicated. An outstanding individual effort. So it's 4-3 now with the Islanders leading the Bruins. 14:52 the time remaining in the second period. Bourne, perhaps the fastest skater in this series, doesn't get very far on that effort. Kluzak laying it to O'Connell. O'Connell leading a three-man attack. Coming down to the line, takes the shot right in there, alertly. Smith covers, clears it to the wing. So we have the teams laying 5 aside. Now coming in, Bourne, and it's McNabb shooting it down the ice. This will be icing in all probability against the Bruins.
Ray Bourque has a goal and 2 assists. He has figured in all 3 Boston goals. Mike O'Connell, as we watch him, getting a lot of work, especially with Mike Milbury on the injured list in the Bruins scheme of things. Well, there's a Raymond Bourque fan here at the Nassau Coliseum. It's not totally an Islanders crowd, although she and her friends are vastly outnumbered. Well, Danny, a different situation here now. Suddenly the crowd a bit quieter.
Well, you would think with the reaction of the fans and the way the Islanders were going, when they made it 4-2, they were going to walk away with it, but the Bruins had other ideas now. Right in front, they score! It's Trottier making the play, and in it went.
Mike Bossy has a hat trick. Just 5 minutes past in the second period, and they're throwing hats on the ice. That one comes right off the face-off. They let Bossy get loose at the crease right there. He battles O'Connell, and Peters can't get over in time. Boy, isn't this a familiar sight in the Islanders' winning years? Trottier, Bossy in the net, and they're picking up the hats now. The linesmen are. Some sombreros have been thrown. An Uncle Sam top hat has been thrown. There you see an example of how they have saluted Mike Bossy for a playoff hat trick, his second of the series. He had 3 goals in the game here, game 4.
Trottier did a lot of work on that, didn't he, Dick?
Danny, the strength of Brian Trottier. I remember doing an interview with Don Cherry several years ago when Grapes was still coaching Boston, and we had him talk about various personalities around the NHL, players, and we said, what do you think of when you think of Brian Trottier? And he said, strength. Well, you saw it right there. He just held on to the puck, made the play while being checked. Bossy did a good job as well, but now we'll take a look at Trottier here. He's being watched. He's being bothered. Kluzak much bigger, but Trottier gets away from him, and Bossy puts the puck in the net. 5-3, and Danny, a big one coming right on the heels of Ray Bourque's brilliant goal to move the Bruins to within 1.
14 minutes and 9 seconds, the time remaining in the second period. There were those who were supposed to be knowledgeable about this game of hockey, thought this would be a low-scoring game. But it's 5-3, and we're just in the second period. But then again, we don't have many low-scoring games these years. Certainly not this year. Pearson takes a shot, and he blasted one over the top of the net. There's Bossy struggling against Bourque. Bourque gives it to O'Connell, ahead to Middleton at the line. Here's Bossy again getting in front, and it's knocked away by Middleton. Coming up to join Middleton in over the line is Peterson. It goes to Peterson off his skate. And Trottier very coolly takes over for the Islanders. Trottier digging with determination up on that right side. Now he goes to the other side of the rink and to the Islanders bench. Tonelli is on with Goring. They're still playing five-a-side. McNabb went one way. He was taken care of by Lane, and the puck went the other way. Park shooting it back in there, and it went off McNabb wide. Pressure now by the Boston Bruins, but the Islanders are going to get it on. Tonelli coming in, a hustling player. Good body check by Park. Number 22, belted number 27, Tonelli. Tonelli jostling into the boards with Kluzak. McNabb tipped it over to the far side. The penalized players are back on. Here's MacTavish around the net. MacTavish puts on the brakes, getting set for a pass, and the pass hit Morrow. MacTavish into the corner. It goes to Crowder, to McNabb. He couldn't control it. Back in behind the net. Keith Crowder going after it, but Nystrom failed to clear it out. Here's McNabb. The Bruins are going in, and there's a penalty for interference.
Boston draws the penalty. This is Hockey Night in Canada from the Nassau Coliseum. An unfortunate penalty if you're a Boston Bruin fan. Keith Crowder off for interference. You might call it offensive interference. It happened with the Bruins deep in the zone, and they had possession of the puck, and that's the reason why. He reached back and hauled down Bob Nystrom, and Andy Van Hellemond made the call. The Bruins had pressure. That line, McNabb, Crowder, and MacTavish continuing to play well for Boston. We have a problem with the ice in back of the net. Mike Bossy, 3 hat tricks in this playoff year. 1 in the series the Islanders played with Washington, and now 2 in this. I get some messages. And the record for hat tricks in a playoff year going into this playoff year was 2, shared by several players, all the way from Rocket Richard to Wayne Gretzky. I kind of lost track of what's happening out in Edmonton, all the goals they've scored, but Bossy has his 3rd hat trick of this 1983 playoff year.
And the Islanders leading by 2. They go on the power play. Potvin is forced back. 5-3 for New York in the second period. 11:55 remaining. Potvin sweeps it in there. Bourque gets it to the line. Not out. Now back at the line. Janssen over to Potvin. Shooting it in. They try to get it in front. Bourne shot it in front and was picked up by Park. Shot down the ice. And let's see, we're going to have a couple of penalties here. That is Brent Sutter and Bourque.
Sutter and Bourque in front of the net started to jab each other with sticks. There were more jabs than what you'd call stick swinging, and they are both going to the penalty box. At 8:20 here in the second period, Raymond Bourque has been penalized for slashing, and Brent Sutter has been penalized for high sticking. But with the man already in the penalty box, the teams don't change as far as strength is concerned. But the Bruins lose Ray Bourque. There is Brent Sutter, who was involved with the Bruins defenseman on that last exchange, and he's in the penalty box.
So in the Crowder penalty, which is the all-important penalty from the point of view of the manpower alignment on the ice, 1 minute and 23 seconds left. So the Islanders on the power play, they lead 5-3. It's shot in by Keller. In along the boards, Janssen trying to catch up with it. And O'Connell cleared at the center. Now Trottier is coming in with Keller. He tried to lead his man, but Keller was going the other way. Trottier, big factor tonight. He was in there bumping, took that puck and back to the line. Finally to Janssen over on the other side. Bossy, it goes to Potvin, a shot! And a big save there by Bourque. That was a tough shot. It was low, about a foot off the ice. Now that's Janssen, number 3. Where will he pass it? It goes over to Potvin. Back it goes to Bossy. Bossy passes it back. And it's deflected out over the line by O'Connell. 30 seconds left in the penalty. The Islanders are back in. Right in front it comes. Peters knocked it away from Trottier, who was being set up by Bossy. Peterson takes the shot. And it was Captain Potvin who was the goalie on that, and the Islanders coming back rather quickly. Into the corner is Keller. In front of the net is Trottier. Now Bossy goes in front and behind the net. They move around. Trottier. Penalty has expired. They try to center it in front. It's caught up in somebody's paraphernalia. Is it loose again? Yes, it is. Now the Islanders center it. It comes from the side, right in front. Bossy trying to get a shot. He gets another shot. They score!
Mike Bossy, 4 goals and counting. Here tonight before a deliriously happy crowd at the Nassau Coliseum. This one isn't really what you could call artistic. They just battle and fight and scrape and scratch, and Park is down and Peters is down, and Bossy is where he so often is, at the right place at the right time. Huh, what can you say about him, Danny? He's got that tremendous shot, but he also has that marvelous knack of being where the puck is. And Mike Bossy smiles, and well, he should. 4 goals tonight, 15 on the playoffs. It's 6-3 New York.
A fellow who knew something about scoring in the National Hockey League, while Bossy was still a junior, predicted that Bossy would be an outstanding scorer in the National Hockey League. The fellow making that prediction, Rocket Richard, and the Rocket, if he is watching tonight, must have a smile across his face, because this guy is one of the most prolific and deadly men around a net that you will find in this era of hockey or any era. There the Bruins missed a great scoring opportunity. That was Gillis who was set up, and he deflected it wide. 6-3. The Islanders leading the Bruins. Puck slashes it in there. Now on the boards. Middleton working, trying to center it against Goring. Puck is on the boards. Nystrom is bumped off the puck. Now Peterson shoots it in there, and it went wide on Middleton's stick. Pressure by the Bruins, and they force the Islanders to shoot it down the ice, and an icing infraction about to be called against New York.
Well, the first breather we've had for a while as we look at the hero of the evening so far, Mike Bossy, with 4 goals. He scored them every which way into empty nets with big shots from the right wing, and the 4th one came right here in front of the net, jabbing home the puck after the big scramble with Peters down on the play. So a 3-goal lead for the Bruins, and that freeze frame tells it all. Mike with his 4th goal of the night now joins Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier, who have come up with 4-goal games in the playoffs this year for Edmonton.
The Islanders win this one. We'll have a matchup between Bossy and Gretzky, and many other great scoring stars.
Dufour has been involved with some fans here. He wrapped his stick at one of them on the glass.
Now that is Bourque leading it to Sutter. Back to Dwayne Sutter from Brent. Into the corner, the most pugilistic individual on the Islanders team, according to the Boston team, has been number 12, Dwayne Sutter. Now the Bruins coming back. There's Brent Sutter with his brother Dwayne. In over the line, giving it to Dwayne, going in for the shot, and he hit the side of the net. There are Sutters wherever you go. Great hockey players, too. And I understand, Dick, there are a couple of juniors with Lethbridge, and they are outstanding.
Well, they've been drafted. They'll be around.
Now, here's Brent Sutter. In over the line, clearing it in, coming from the other side. Clark Gillies. Dwayne Sutter bumped Crowder. They've already had a fisting set two in this series. Number 12, Dwayne Sutter, and 32, Bruce Crowder. Dufour going to the line. Well, Dufour was a great hero in covering Bossy in Boston on Thursday night. But this is Bossy's night tonight. There's Merrick playing it on the boards. Keith Crowder. Pass on the left side, racing after it. MacTavish to McNabb. McNabb jammed out of the play by Janssen. Ahead to Nystrom. Back for Nystrom. Broken up by the Bruins. And the clock indicating 7 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the second period. Here are the Bruins. Trusak takes a shot, and he rattled it off the knee and off the boards. Grabbed by Smith.
Mike Bossy's next goal in this playoff year will tie him with Gordie Howe, or in any playoff year. The all-time playoff record for Mike will then be 68, third highest all-time total. The Rocket leads with 82.
It's amazing how long that record has stood, 82.
23 years.
Now here's Bossy shooting in off the boards for Bourne. An almost impossible angle. Morrow, a shot, a deflection by Trottier. Trottier again. They score!
Almost had the feeling for a moment that Trottier was looking for Mike to give him the puck to make it number 5. The net was wide open. You know, people talked about Trottier and Bossy after the first 2 games, saying they had to start scoring. They had to come alive with it. There you go. Mike Bossy hopped out of the way that time. And so now they have just erupted again in this game.
Of course, Bossy is getting the major headline tonight, Dick, as well he should. But Trottier is playing an outstanding game, particularly here in this second period.
Danny, one thing follows the other. And when Trottier is making things happen, Bossy's there to cash in. That time it was Brian Trottier at the 13-14 mark, his 7th goal of the playoffs.
13-14, Trottier assisted by Morrow and Bourne. And it is 7-3. Now the Bruins at center. Bourque coming up. Along the boards, it's stopped there by Merrick. His pass goes into the corner. They fight for it. Bourque going in there again, and that brings about a face-off, and it'll take place to the right of Smith.
Wayne Merrick hasn't played all that much in the playoffs, but he's getting some action here tonight and probably will. Al Arbour is going to, I'm sure, use all of his troops through to the end of this one with the 7-3 lead. Still 6:15 to go in the second period.
The situation that looked so promising for the Bruins at the end of the first period when it was 3-2 has become almost calamitous now with the Islanders leading the 7-3. So Mike Bossy getting 3 goals in 1 period. So they'll do this face-off again. 6 minutes and 14 seconds the time left in the second period. The Bruins get it back to the line. It goes down the ice. Melnick clearing it to the other side. Here is Barr, number 17. This is his first turn. He came out about a minute ago. He's still out there. He took a shot away wide. Nystrom shoveling it to Janssen. They headman the puck to Morrow. 4 Islanders to the attack. On the left side, Trottier knifed it into the corner. Trottier on with Merrick and Nystrom. Now a change has been made. Boston clearing it in. Gillies has come off the bench, replacing Trottier. Islanders 7, the Bruins 3. At the line, Nystrom. Nystrom getting set, clearing it into Merrick. There's a shot. It's loose in the crease. And Peters covers that.
Live from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
The Islanders lose that draw, but they haven't lost very much in this second period. They certainly have put the Bruins right on the lip and the brink of elimination with this big lead. Not a lot of time left, but the way this Islanders team plays with a big lead here at the Coliseum, there it rolls in front, they jam away on it, and it's cleared to the line. Shot back in by Morrow. So the Islanders subscribing now to the best defense is strong offense.
Danny, what we've seen in this period, and you remarked as the period began after the Bossy goal at 59 seconds that the Islanders are playing so much better. What we're seeing here now is the kind of hockey we've become accustomed to seeing the Islanders play when they have been in control. They started to take over. That goal by Brent Sutter at the end of the first period was a very, very big play. And in this period, they pretty well just haven't given the Bruins the puck. They just haven't allowed the Bruins to control the play the way Boston did for a large degree through the first 20 minutes. And that's the kind of hockey the Islanders have to play. They got away from it totally in Boston the other night. Mind you, the Bruins had a lot to do with that. Played such a fine game. But coming out for the second period, you could just see that the Islanders were back in the groove, that they played that puck control game and have been totally in command.
They were very, very fortunate to go into the dressing room leading after the first period, and they took advantage of the break. There's a pass in front. Krushelnyski. In other words, they were let off the hook in the first period. The Bruins let them off the hook. Now there's a pass over to Nystrom going in, and he was checked by Dufour. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. Here come the Bruins. There's a shot wide, taken from outside the line. It was Dufour going after it. After he took the shot, there's going to be a high sticking penalty.
Minor officials tonight are from Philadelphia. That gentleman, the penalty timekeeper in the box, that's where Gord Lane is. He's off 2 minutes high sticking at 15:49.
So I would think if the Bruins have any chance at all to get back into contention, they would have to score a goal here on this power play. They're coming very close to the end of the second period. There is a 4-goal differential. The Islanders leading 7-3. Bourque coming down. He's had an outstanding series. Over on this side to Park, going in for the shot. Big save by Smith. That was a point-blank range blistering blast by Park. And Smith just eyed Park as he was going in, stayed with it, and he kicked it out. Now Middleton's pass goes off a leg. Park swings it back into the center ice area. Good move by McNabb. McNabb over the other side. Bourque clearing it in. It goes for Middleton. Will he be able to come up with it? Here's McNabb centering it in front. Pearson is down, and it is he. They bang away on it. The whistle hadn't gone. Now there's Peterson and Carroll. I think that's Carroll hanging on to the crossbar.
Peterson pushed a good part of Billy Carroll into the net. What he has to get inside the net, of course, is the puck, not a player. Pearson came up on the limb after making the defensive play, falling on the puck. It did get loose. Smith and Pearson trying to cover up on the play, and finally the Islanders did cover up on the play. And there you see the pushing and shoving and the slight hassle going on. Peterson and Carroll. Lane in the box with 55 seconds left. New Westminster junior player, native of Brandon, Manitoba, coming here from Washington, where they said he wasn't wanted. Joined the Islanders in time to be with them when they won the Stanley Cup for the first time in '80, and of course has been a fixture here in New York ever since.
24 is in the penalty box. The man about whom Dick was just speaking, that's Lane. 52 seconds remaining. In his penalty, Bourque into McNabb out in front. O'Connell, a weak shot, nowhere near the net. Bourque winds up with a shot, hopping on a screen shot. Billy Smith coming up with it.
And again, more pushing and shoving. The Bruins, the frustration beginning to show. And now for about 3 whistles in a row, we've had this sort of thing taking place. We got penalties called here. Ken Morrow of the Islanders going to the box along with Keith Crowder of Boston. And Helleman calling them for high sticking, very likely. Well, Morrow doesn't know what it's like to lose. From the Olympics at Lake Placid, he shook hands as a winner there, and he's shaken hands as a winner at the end of all of his seasons at the NHL. 3 straight with the Islanders.
He has been fabulously fortunate since the Olympics, but then again, he has contributed to the success of this Islanders team. He has contributed immeasurably. We've mentioned so often, you see him in there, that he is not as spectacular a hockey player, but he delivers with a fair degree of authority behind the line. Potvin shooting it down the ice.
You know, the acquisition of Goring in that year, 3 years ago, drew most of the attention, but a lot of people here in New York say almost as important was the acquisition of Morrow, who had played very steadily right from the start.
I doubt if they could have won the Stanley Cup without the contributions of Goring and Morrow. Now the Bruins keeping it in there. Peterson is trying to get it loose. He's jammed into the boards by Goring and centered to Middleton. He scores! Middleton, well, they got the goal that I felt they had to get. And it is now 7-4.
Rick Middleton's 11th playoff goal coming with 2:21 left here in the second period. A power play goal for Boston. Barry Peterson from the corner out-battles Butch Goring, kicks it loose. Good play by Peterson, using the skates along the boards. And Middleton just drilled it home on the short side. He stuffed it. Smith didn't have a chance to get over and cover up on the play. 7-4 the score. Strange kind of a score when you consider these teams were 1-2 in goals against in the NHL this past regular season. The Islanders winning the Jennings Trophy by a margin of 2 over the Bruins.
By number 16, Rick Middleton. The assist to number 10, Barry Peterson. Number 20, Michael Connell. Time of the goal, 17:39.
17:39.
And
this is the second period.
So Bossy scoring his 4th goal just past the halfway mark in the second period at 10:03. Still has 21 minutes and 47 seconds ahead to get number 5.
But there was an oddity about the Rockets' 5 goals. What would it have been?
The only 5.
Do you ever miss out on anything else?
Lots of times, Tim. You know that.
Very, very sharp. And did they give them all 3 stars that
I
night?
think so. Elmer Ferguson did, yes.
Gave them all 3 stars. And now here's Casper coming in. Krushelnyski taken out of the play. The Islanders clearing it up on the boards. Gillies can't knock it out against Bruce Crowder. The play is stopped. Somebody in there with Casper. Sticks going up, but nothing of a serious nature develops. And the other player was Brent Sutter. They're very aggressive. Good hockey players, very aggressive.
Well, you just hope that this sort of pushing and shoving isn't going to continue on. These teams have given us some excellent hockey, some very competitive hockey. Look at the Islanders. You talk about goal scoring. The Oilers, of course, in a class by themselves in the playoffs, but the Islanders have scored now in almost 8 periods on home ice in this series, 22 goals on a pretty good defensive hockey team.
A minute and 18 seconds left in this period. And Al Arbour decides to walk the rest of the minute and 18 seconds. You saw him take off from behind the bench. I wonder how many miles he puts on in the run of a game, in the run of a year, the run of a career. There he is. Keep going, Al. We're going to clock you. Now the puck is out over the line. It's cleared into Boston territory. Peters left it there for O'Connell. Here's Bossy looking for it. In behind the net is Keller. Keller twisting and turning. Bossy getting in front. It's to the side of the net. And
O'Connell's going to get a holding penalty, I believe. Coming up in our second intermission in just a few moments' time, Brian McFarland's going to be conducting a bit of a playoff panel with John Davidson, the goaltender of the New York Rangers, and Mike Milbury, the injured defenseman of the Boston Bruins. And we'll take a look at Larry Robinson's Conn Smythe Trophy winning year of 1978. O'Connell for holding. Now watch, here they come into the picture right here as he tackles Mike Bossy. Jerry Cheever was wishing there had been a few more downfield tackles on Mike Bossy so far in the hockey game. So O'Connell's in the box. Penalty called at 19:04.
the Islanders leading the Bruins 7-4. We are 56 seconds away from the end of the second period. Keller, Bossy, Trottier, Janssen, and Potvin. Back to Potvin, swinging it into Bossy to Potvin over on this side. Janssen playing into the corner along the boards. Bruins trying to get possession. They do, and they shoot it down the ice. And number 25 got it clear down the ice, and one of the big surprises for the Boston team has to be the two-way play of number 25 this year, Krushelnyski. Here's Potvin. Good, solid body belt by Park. He flattened Potvin. We don't see many of these body checks the way hockey is played these days. Here's Bossy swinging it off the boards, back to Potvin. The shot. Bossy, who else was in there looking for the rebound? Bossy was right there. He has great instincts, great anticipation.
That means so much to a goal scorer. And it's one of the reasons why Mike Bossy has hit the 60-goal mark so often in his NHL career. All right, now watch this. This is Potvin, who's a pretty good hip check man himself, but Brad Park has thrown more than a few of those in his 15 years in the NHL, and Park nailed Potvin perfectly on the play.
17 seconds left in the period, a minute and 21 seconds remaining in the penalty. To O'Connell. Now it is Janssen swinging to the center off the boards to Bossy, flipping it into the corner to Trottier. Krushelnyski along the boards, and it's cleared down the ice by Kluzak. And this is the end of the period. Standing ovation for the Islanders. This capacity crowd feeling that the jig is up, that the Islanders are going to win this one. They lead by 3 goals, and they sense another Stanley Cup final series. And Bossy may have a chance to get the 5th goal very quickly because the Islanders are on the power play. 56 seconds remaining. It's right in front. And Keller missed that Bossy pass. Now Potvin. Islanders keeping it in. Trottier chasing it to the far side. Back to Pearson. Into the corner. Keller. Around the net is Bossy. Right in front. And it went between the skates of Trottier. Bourque feeding it ahead to the line, and Krushelnyski cleared it down the ice. Now there are 22 seconds left in the penalty. The score is 7-4 for the Islanders over the Bruins. And we're into the 3rd period. Now Trottier, Bossy is in front. They try to get it out in front. It comes to the side of the net. Bossy has it in behind the net. It goes to Trottier. Trottier has Gillies right in front, but they're definitely trying to set up Bossy. Now Bossy has it. It's at the side of the net. The quarters are very close, and a penalty coming up against Gillies. Bossy took the shot, but the penalty was about to be assessed.
The Islanders will now play shorthanded. Clark Gillies in the box for cross-checking. 1:17 the time of the penalty call here in the 3rd period. Gillies back in action after missing most of the playoffs through a couple of games ago. And here we see the reason why as he flattens Gord Kluzak in back of the red line in the Bruins defensive zone. Now we got the officials talking through the glass over at the far side. I don't know if there's something wrong with the ice or something wrong with the glass over there. And now we're set to go. Actually, Al Arbor is listed in the NHL guide as a member of 4 Stanley Cup winning teams, yet the story has been throughout this playoffs 3 teams. He's shown with the 54 Detroit Red Wings in addition to Toronto twice and Chicago. But playing for 3 different teams that won Stanley Cups. Yeah, that's got to be something.
There's Goring almost cashing in on a lapse by the Bruins. 7-4, the Islanders leading, and the Bruins face a Herculean task here in the 3rd period as they try to make up a deficit of 3 goals, and that will just bring them up on even terms with the proviso that the Islanders do not score. So you see how gigantic and colossal it is. But as we mentioned so often, and we did it very frequently in Boston on Thursday night, this Bruin team has been an outstanding team with tremendous courage and resiliency. Now in on the board. Smith is going to watch it against Krushelnyski. Middleton dumped it in front, and it was gobbled up by Billy Carroll. And down the ice it goes. A minute and 15 seconds the time remaining in the Gillies penalty. The Bruins, 4 of them coming out rather slowly. Now Peterson over the other side, and it is offside.
Danny, this morning as we look at Rick Middleton, I was chatting with some of the Bruins brass. There's a story making the rounds about a possible trade between Montreal and Chicago, and 2 of the individuals that could be involved in the trade, according to the rumors, are coaches, Orville Tessier and Bob Berry. We were chatting about this, and Jerry Cheevers was there, and Tom Johnson, the assistant general manager, says to me as he winks, he says, what do you think we could get for our coach? Before I could come up with a one-liner, Cheevers says, Toe Blake is retired. Turned and left the room. We had no comeback on that one.
Touche, touche. Well, the Bruins accomplished what they wanted to do to one degree on Thursday night. They won at home. Your father used to have a theory, make sure you win the last game you play at home. However, I'm sure the Bruins are not satisfied with just staving off elimination on Thursday and making a 6-game necessary here. They want to win this game. And toward that end, Park clears it up on the right wing. Keith Trottier is stopped by Goring. And the tenacity of the forechecking by the Islanders will increase as the game progresses. They will put less accent on the offense and realize they have that 3-goal lead, and if they hold that lead or any part of it, they'll go into the Stanley Cup Finals. Now cruising in there is Park. Park making the moves, trying to get through there. And finally he was stopped by Lane. Here are the Bruins. The penalty has expired to Gillies. And the Islanders are back with a full complement. They clear it down the ice, and New York is going to be called for icing. So they line up for the face-off. To the left is Smith, Arbor, and Cheevers looking on. The frame of mind drastically different between the two. Now Peterson is going to come back and face off against Trottier. Hillier is on the right point, Kuzak on the other. And the Islanders with Merrick trailing his Nystrom over the line. Merrick trying to get through there. Peters dropped it in behind. Kuzak headmans it to Middleton. And the defense of the Islanders, you saw there Potvin. He was right up almost to the Boston blue line, and so was Johnson, who is now going back to get the puck, and he clears it out over the line. 15 minutes and 55 seconds, the time remaining in the third period. 7-4 for the Islanders. Now it's up on the right wing. Peterson over for Middleton. Bourque is going in there, trying to get a pass. He goes in to get possession himself. And Trottier cleared it to the other side to Gillies. In behind the net, Johnson. And that man, Bossy, is out there again, and he just delicately rolled it out over the line. Arbor now completes the changes that he was in the process of making. Potvin spearheading an attack, 2-on-1 with Tonelli. Potvin shoots, and Peters stood there, and Potvin more or less shot it right at him.
Peters held his ground. Bruins guilty on a bit of a bad line change that time, and it gave Potvin some skating room. Here we look at it again. Denny Potvin straight up the center ice alley. And lets the shot go, but as Danny mentioned, Peters just standing right there playing the angle well. Folks out in Saskatoon will be interested in a meeting that will be held here in New York Wednesday, May 18th, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. According to an official release from the National Hockey League's office, the purpose of the meeting to consider the sale of the St. Louis Blues to Coliseum Holdings Limited and the transfer of that franchise to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So they have scheduled a governor's meeting the 18th.
Are you wagering that the team is going to Saskatoon?
Bill Hunter is involved. I'm not wagering anything. He is a remarkable person.
Now it is Park. Upended penalty coming up. The Islanders are running into the penalties. This time it's Merrick. But on the other one in this period, the Bruins could not come up and take advantage of it. But right now they'll have another opportunity.
Wayne Merrick of the Islanders offer holding. Time of the penalty, 4:56 right here. He puts a real grab on Brad Park. So Boston down by 3, trailing 7-4, have a man advantage.
And they have McNabb on. O'Connell coming up as McNabb trying to pick up the pass. It rolls in there, and the Islanders clear it to the boards. Goring can't get it out. A splendid move by Bourque. Here's Bourque taking the look. Where is it going to go? We'll know pretty soon. He was knocked down. Into the corner it goes. Keith Crowder to MacTavish, to McNabb, right out in front. Upended in front of the net was Crowder after he got that wide shot away. And the Islanders shoot it down the ice. There's a great deal of determination evidenced in the play of the Islanders now, Dick.
Well, it's been that way, Danny, since the start of the second period when they took over the hockey game.
Now Peterson drifts it in there. Middleton and Bourque going in. And this time, a fellow who loves to skate, he does it beautifully. Bourne, he rips a shot. He was wide with it. Krushelnyski back into O'Connell. O'Connell takes a look, fakes a pass. Leading slowly, a five-man attack. And in the penalty, 45 minutes remaining. Now Peterson knocked down a clearing board pass. O'Connell shoots it. Kicked out nimbly by Billy Smith. Bourque gives it to Peterson. He was blocked by Potvin to Middleton. Back to Peterson. In for Middleton behind the net. Middleton tipped it in front. Down on all fours is Smith.
Now, Billy Smith and the Islanders are on the verge of winning their 50th straight playoff series. That's a record. They have not been beaten since the Stanley Cup semifinals in 1979. And John Davidson, Brian's guest in the second intermission with the New York Rangers, had a very large role in that upset as the Rangers beat the Islanders. Merrick in the box. He has 25 seconds to serve.
Now they finally get them set to drop the puck. Potvin racing there to keep it in as Bourque does. But he is intercepted. The Islanders at center. They are stopped by Krushelnyski. Here's Potvin coming back. The shot goes off the leg. Potvin right in front. And an outstanding save by Peters. Very alert work by the captain of the Islanders, number 5, Potvin. Now the Islanders again. Nimble work by Park. Park clearing it to Sutter. Krushelnyski. Ahead to Peterson. The penalty has expired. There's a shot whipped in with some velocity by Bourque, but he was away wide. Coming in as Merrick. Merrick trying to come in front the pass. And Middleton clearing it out to Park at center. Here's Dufour. Dufour lobbed an easy shot. Lord Lane takes his time. Shooting it into the center ice area. Tonelli over to Nystrom. Nystrom coming in front. They score!
Wade Merrick came out of the penalty box to join in on the attack of the Islanders as they move the puck. Tonelli and Bourne doing the work. Look at Park taking out Tonelli, so he is down and out of the play. And Peters is down and out as he tried to come out and make the poke check move on Bob Nystrom at the right side. And Nystrom won the battle, flipped the puck across the crease, and nothing but an empty net for Wayne Merrick of the Islanders as he scores his first playoff goal. It's 8-4 New York.
The assist to number 23, Bob Nystrom. Number 27, John Tonelli. Time of the goal, 7:41. Merrick is first of the playoffs from Nystrom and Tonelli at 7:41.
7:41, the time of the goal. Merrick from Nystrom and Tonelli right in front of Tonelli. A backhand shot. He got something on that shot and he was wide. The Islanders have an insatiable appetite right now for goals. They have the Bruins by 4, but they want more.
Well, Al Arbor and the Islanders, 7 minutes and 27 seconds of playing time away from advancing to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Now at the line, Morrow clearing it in. Tonelli trying to set up Nystrom. Working diligently. Tonelli, a shot there by Merrick. He was set up by Tonelli. Tonelli behind the net, trying to work it in front against Park. Down goes Peters. Puck is loose. And the Islanders are all over the Bruins. McNabb finally comes up with it. And McNabb sets up Keith Crowder coming down along with MacTavish and McNabb in on the line. Back to the line, Kluzak. Plays it in there. Pete Trotter to McNabb. He dumped it in front, and the Islanders start away led by Nystrom. But to get more skating room, he went back in there and gave it to Tonelli, over to Merrick. Merrick into the corner, bumping in there solidly against Hillier. 6 minutes and 25 seconds, the time remaining in the third period. The Islanders breaking it up at the line. It's Dwayne Sutter to Tonelli. Tonelli, the big guy, on the backhand, decides to pass it instead of shooting it. There's Tonelli jammed in on the boards by Krushelnyski. Dwayne Sutter out to his brother Brent. To Dwayne again on the board. He lost it. And Klusak to the other side of Krushelnyski. In the games between the Islanders and the Bruins here at Coliseum, they have not been classic, have not been spine tinglers. Now here's Sutter getting in front for his puck. Gillies came off the bench and almost got a goal. Johnson playing it back in there. The Bruins out on the right side. Bruce Trotter couldn't get anywhere. And Potvin sends it back into Boston territory over the glass. And the scores here, Dick, have been 7-3, 8-3. And at this stage in this third game of the series here in New York between the Bruins and the Islanders, it's 8-4. So that's not the type of electrifying playoff hockey you want to see, but victory is sweet.
The home fans love it. They've seen a lot of goals by their favorite team. Clark Gillies mentioned after the game the other night in Boston that he said we might have been guilty of perhaps looking ahead to the finals a little too quickly. They got their comeuppance, and it might have been a good thing. They practiced in secret yesterday at a rink somewhere in suburban Long Island. First time they've done that perhaps ever. No media, no hangers-on.
So we're down to 5:13. That is the time remaining in this period. There's a shot right on for Bossy. And he could have easily scored his 5th goal there because Peters actually had to make a very quick and smart move. He was free. Here's Bossy trying to get it in front. Bossy rolls it in front. The Islanders with Potvin taking over. He in turn lost it for a fraction of a second, regained by Bossy. A pass to Trottier. And we're down to a time less than 5 minutes. The producer of tonight's show, Doug Beforth, director Ronnie Harrison, and thanks for their cooperation and proficiency as usual. Now Nystrom back to Morrow on the left side. Lane ahead to Merrick. Merrick trying to make a move, centered it in front, and it went off Peters. Here come the Bruins. They're behind 8-4, and the end of the hockey season is just about 4 minutes of playing time away for the Boston team. But what a magnificent year they've had. Here's Tonelli going in. Casper took him out of the play. It looked like Tonelli would get right in there. Bourque coming to the line. Dumped it in on the left side to McNabb. He chopped the shot. The rebound to Park. There's the shot. And Smith holds on.
This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. Kenny Potvin said prior to this game, as far as I'm concerned, it's now a one-game series. Looking ahead, I guess, to a Game 7, and not being too confident, meaning they had to win Game 6. So the Islanders did what they had to do.
Now it is Keith Crowder spun around by Potvin. And down the ice, will it have that momentum to go over the line for icing? It did not. The official was there to blow it, but it stopped short of the line by a couple of feet. Now puck in front. There's a shot. An outstanding save by Peters on Dwayne Sutter. Gillies backhand shot. And the Islanders, knowing that they have this series wrapped up, are not letting up, and that's the mark of a true champion who is going out to win a title. He never lets up.
Well, that was the surprising thing about their play in Boston Thursday night. In the past couple of years, an Islander team in that position, going into the other team's rink, needing the win to move into the finals, for example, would come out and they usually won it with good, solid hockey, but they didn't have it the other night. They have been inconsistent. I heard Butch Goring tell Brian in the first intermission they had what they felt was a mediocre regular season. They finished tied with Minnesota 6th overall. This is the most impressive they have been, Danny, as far as those of us who've covered them as whenever we have covered them. This is the most impressive game we've seen the Islanders play.
And I would think that the Bruins would look back to that first period when they could have fared much better, but that is irrevocable. They can't recall that. They have to face the stark reality of what the situation is at the present time. And based on an outstanding second period, particularly by the Islanders, with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, the Islanders have a 4-goal budge. And it's academic to play out the rest of the time in this series, but the pride of the pro is always there, and he's going to give it everything. It may sound corny, but they do it. Perhaps they don't know how much time is left.
Well, Trottier was telling us that he felt that the third period in particular in the game here last Tuesday night was the best his team has played all year. I wonder how he'd rate the second period. Jerry Cheever's look tells it all back of the Boston bench.
So we have Burr. He's out there now for the third time for the Bruins. It is O'Connell slapping it in to the other side. Bruins couldn't come up with it. Now they finally get it at the line. O'Connell handing it off. The lead pass to Bruce Crowder going in on goal. Shoots, big save, another shot. They hit the goal post. Oh, how close can you come? Big save. There's another shot. Then on the rebound, the Bruins hit the goal post. So some acrobatics in tantalizing fashion and some luck by Billy Smith denied the Bruins of their 5th goal.
Danny, we talked about the Islanders coming out in the second period and taking over, but perhaps in the overall scheme of things, we forgot at that point to mention this man. Because in the first period, while he faced only 7 shots, there were 7 quality shots. And especially the big ones earlier on that kept the score scoreless and then close. Here's another one right here, not quite as important in the overall scheme of things, but certainly, as you mentioned, acrobatic with the puck off the post and then being swept away. A familiar story with the Islanders, Smith holding them in. And then they take over.
And the time remaining, 1 minute and 30 seconds, 8-4, the Islanders leading the Bruins. And there'll be a vocal explosion at the end of this game. And then more noise, more cheering when they present the Prince of Wales trophy to the Islanders. They are now 1 minute and 12 seconds away from the realization of that. And I hear a few cowbells are getting in some practice. Pop back. 1 minute remaining. And the fans are up cheering. 53 seconds remaining. Here come the Boston Bruins led by Bourque. Bourque shooting it in there. Everybody up. Boston can't come up with it. Potvin clearing it. Let's listen to these people cheer. And it's sweet music to the Islanders as they rush down the ice. 28 seconds. 24. Shot. Kicked out by Smith. Dwayne Sutter knocked it into the center ice area. 15 seconds. And the crescendo is about to come. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over!
Well, at the same time they counted their team down to a victory, I guess the fans here at the Nassau Coliseum were sending them off with good wishes to Edmonton. The sign on the electronic board right now reads, Edmonton, here we come.
Incredibly, Mike Bossy became the first player ever to score the game-winning goal in all 4 victories of a series. His 4-goal performance in Game 6 marked the 5th and final postseason hat-trick of his career. In all, Bossy would score 85 goals in just 129 playoff games during a 10-year career that ended in 1987. Thanks for watching Vintage Games here on the NHL Network. We'll see you again next time.
You want intense